Donn McClean is with us this morning to talk to us about his young adult novel. It's called All to Play For. Donn, good morning to you. How are you?
Hi, Ger. I'm very well, thanks. Good to chat. Thanks for having me.
Congratulations on the book. It's been a while. It's been in the oven for a while.
It had, yeah. Look, it's a book that's been somewhere in the recesses of my mind, Ger, for years. And yeah, just in chatting to O'Brien Press about a couple of different things, it came up, and they said, "Sure, look, write some of it, and we'll have a look." So we got on with it, and yeah, no, thank God they liked it, and yeah, it's out there. So hopefully other people will like it too.
So it's about a 13-year-old. Her name is Anna. She's struggling to cope with the recent loss of her father when she discovers a forgotten gift from him, a pair of bright orange football socks, and this takes her on a journey.
That's it. Yeah, no, it's yeah. Look, she's a good Gaelic football player, and then, as you say, Ger, her dad has a fatal accident, and before, on the day that he had the accident, he gave her a pair of socks, a pair of orange socks. She had county trials the following day, and he said, "Look, these socks, not only will they make you play the best football you've ever played in your life, but they'll make you stand out to the selectors. So you won't be the girl in the dark curly hair. You'll be the girl in the orange socks." So and then her dad dies, and the socks go missing. They move house, so she has to cope with all of that, moving school, starting a new school, and she starts playing football again with a new club. So she has to deal with getting into a new club, playing with girls she doesn't know, who are also girls with whom she's going to school. And then down the road a little bit, she discovers the socks again. And when she wears them, she kind of feels a comfort. She and her dad had a pre-match routine that they always used to do, and she couldn't do it, obviously, after he died. But when she has the socks on, she just feels that he's some kind of a presence there. And the ball tends to hop her way as well when she's wearing the socks, and she discovers her footballing ability. She went for a while with having no interest in football, no interest in school, no interest in anything after her dad died. But then she kind of gradually gets it back and gradually gets into the team. And she has a couple of other difficulties with the team. There's a very strong player in the team who doesn't make her life easy, and she's the manager's daughter. But she kicks on, and Anna, she's an amalgam of lots of different things, Jared. She's strong, but she's also vulnerable and anxious and confident at the same time in different ways. And it's for her, she's at her most comfortable in her new environment when she's on the football pitch, because on the football pitch, she reckons cliques don't matter. It doesn't matter who you know or how good you are or what car your dad drives or what clothes you wear. Everybody's the same when they're on the football pitch.
Yeah, so a lot of universal themes there. It turns out you can't write this stuff unless there's a little bit of you in it as well. You can't just like bang this stuff out. So how much of you and your own family's situation is in this book about a 13-year-old?
I'd say quite a lot, Jared. There's probably a small 13-year-old in most of us. Yeah, look, my I suppose it is that there's a little bit of me in it, all right. My mother died when I was a kid, so there's a wee bit of that. And then we have 4 girls, as you know, Ger, and they're all into sport. Now they're not all into Gaelic football. They're common, like one of them is into Gaelic football and soccer, another's into soccer and hockey, another's into hockey and golf, and our eldest is just all in on hockey. So it's not all about Gaelic football in this house, but it is about sport. And it's brilliant that, you know, with 4 girls, that Sunday mornings and Saturday morning, they're all about gear. We're like, somebody wore somebody's top last week and put it in the wash, and they can't find it. There's bedlam. And in one sense, it makes for a lively house, but in another, it's brilliant. It's just great that they're all out there playing football. And I suppose there's a wee bit of all 4 of them in Anna, Ger, because, you know, you kind of, and maybe my relationship with all 4 of them as well, and I coach one of the teams as well. So yeah, it's I suppose, as you say, Jerry, you can't write about what you don't know about, and I suppose there's a wee bit of all of them in Anna, I think.
And did they like the book? Most importantly, were they your test audience the whole way through?
They were. It was chapter by chapter, and they were a brilliant sounding board as well, because I've written how I think a 13-year-old thinks or how I think a 13-year-old speaks, and they go, "Dad, there's no way Anna would say that. She wouldn't say it like that. She'd say it like this." And there's a half a chapter on Minecraft in it, of all things, and I thought I know all about Minecraft, so I was able to write it no problem. But actually, they told me I wrote it nearly like a Minecraft manual, and there were loads of mistakes in it. So no, they changed all that for me. So no, they've been brilliant, and yeah, it was so they'd read the chapter when I'd finish it, and then they'd be dying for the next chapter to come along. So yeah, it's a story that evolved as well, Joe. When I sat down to write it, because you know you kind of you have an idea in your head where the story will go, and it followed the broad parameters of that story. But there are little twists and turns in it along the way that I hadn't anticipated in the beginning. But just as the story developed and as the characters developed, I was happy to go wherever they took me.
Yeah, and again, like quite heavy themes. The theme of grief for a child who is bereaved. That must have been difficult for you to revisit in some ways, and I guess you wouldn't have done it unless you wanted to as well.
Well, that's it. Yeah. No, I suppose it was a little bit cathartic, as I was saying to Tommy there earlier on. And for me, when I was growing up, it was all Gaelic football. It was all we played. It was all we could play. There was no soccer, no other sports for boys. And for girls to play sport was unusual. So it's great. Excuse me. It's great that these days girls have so many opportunities to play sports. But yeah, I suppose, yeah, there was a little bit of that in me. And revisiting that and kind of remembering how it was, yeah, growing up, and kind of imagining as well how it would be for the four girls if God forbid anything were to happen to me. So there's probably a wee bit of that in it as well, and you kind of hope, I suppose, that you'll be remembered in some way along the way if that was to happen, or yeah, if that time comes.
Is this the first time you've written about a theme like this, Donn? Has it been a while coming for this catharsis, basically?
That's it. Yeah, exactly. I've ghostwritten autobiographies, but it's my first fiction book, first book for young adults as well. So a lot of firsts in there, Tommy. Yeah, I loved it. You know, I loved writing it. I get up and get into the office at 5 a.m. to try and get writing before all the lights were switched on. And I loved that part of the day, just kind of settling down with your thoughts and letting the story roll away. So. Yeah, no, it's been a good process for me. I've enjoyed writing it. Just hope people enjoy reading it now.
And what has the response been like? I'm always really interested to kind of see that you stick a book out there and then you start talking about it. This is the other part of it, like where you can live with it now for a long time as well. So what's that like?
Yeah, that's it. Look, most of what I've heard has been very positive, Jared. Thankfully, people have liked it, and friends of the girls have read it. They liked it, and even parents of friends of the girls have read it. They've liked it too. So I'm sure people who haven't liked it, they just haven't told me that they didn't like it.
Well, look, the timing is great. The 20 by 20 campaign, it's exactly the type of, if you can't see it, you can't be it. It's a book about a 13-year-old playing Gaelic football despite all of the rest of the stuff that's going on in a 13-year-old's life, and some extra stuff layered on. So congratulations on that. And as if you weren't busy enough, Donn, you've got a picture book out as well with Pat Healy, the photographer, the racing photographer that people will be familiar with. He's taken some of the most iconic photographs in world sport.
Yeah, Pat's a brilliant photographer, Ger, as you know, and yeah, he's done his book with O'Brien Press as well, and he just asked me to write the words for it, the captions, and the kind of some of the backgrounds to the stories. So yeah, that's out. But look, that's Pat Healy's book. It's a photograph book, and it's some of the photographs in it are stunning, and it captures a decade of Irish racing, Irish national hunt racing, all the way through the 2010s. And yeah, look, I suppose the difficulty with that book, Ger, was in deciding what photographs to leave out. There were so many fantastic photographs in it, so I was delighted to collaborate with Pat on that one, with the O'Brien Press.
Well, listen, best of luck, Donn. Happy Christmas to you and yours. It's called All to Play For, and it comes wholeheartedly recommended by everybody here at Team OTB. Thanks a million, Donn.
Thanks a million, Ger.
Cheers. That's again, we'll be recommending some other books for you over the next while for the sports fan or sports lover in your life. If you have any book recommendations that you'd like to get into us that might help stuff out a Christmas stocking or two, now would be a good time to do it. 0879 180 180. You can just about get delivery for another week or two, I think, and be confident enough that it's going to arrive.
Well, yeah, it depends where you order from, obviously. I've got a book on the way at the moment that I've been waiting for about 3.5 months. So, Ger's advice is somewhat sketchy on that front, but most good Irish bookshops will have you covered in the next while.
Yeah, shop local if you can.
Yeah, you see, that's the problem. I didn't shop local, and this is what I get. This is what I get for giving money to Jeff Bezos. And
well, yeah, okay. What weird manga have you ordered from the moon that has taken 3 weeks to arrive?
It's actually a sports book. Wait till next year, by the two authors, Goodman and I can't remember the co-author. There are basically 4 or 5 different books with the exact same title, and this is definitely the correct one. And the seller, has been on to me saying, yeah, sorry about that. We can give you a refund, but we think we might get it to you in, the next year.
Right, they sent you the wrong ones a couple of times a day.
No.
Okay.
Nothing has arrived, but
Right,
they've been like apologising, saying you can have your refund. And I'm like, no, I don't want my refund. I'm happy enough to wait endlessly. Kind of like the Escobar meme where he's just like staring into empty space. That is me beside my letterbox every single morning.
Very good.